the Arty 84 Show Live, episode 122. As always, Adam the Mallet to the left of me, just hanging out with his good friend. The fuck's his name?
Nicholas Cage.
Nicholas Cage. I just had a blonde moment. If you're watching us on Facebook, we do have an interactive poll.
I saw that movie, by the way.
Which one?
The Nicolas Cage movie, the Bearing Weight, the Weight of Massive Talent, or something like that.
Oh,
the new one that came out.
Yeah, how was it?
It's funny. I like it. It's actually
good.
Funny.
So briefly, what's the premise of the movie? I know it's him being himself, but like,
he plays himself.
Okay.
He's himself, but like the people around him, like the person who plays his ex-wife and his daughter, they're not really his ex-wife and his daughter. Really.
Okay.
He's just himself. But he basically accepts a $1 million payment to go hang out with this guy in another country who's like, it turns out he gets there, this guy Javi, who's like a mega fan.
Yeah.
And it turns out then the FBI intercepts him. It was basically like, look, this guy's like a big cartel guy, and like he abducted this girl, and we need your help to find the girl on his property. So he starts like trying to help out the FBI.
Okay.
And and some shit. I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah. Okay. It's an interesting premise.
Yeah.
But it's Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage, essentially. He's playing Nicolas Cage.
Pretty much.
Right?
He's always Nicolas Cage.
I guess so, but his name's Nicolas Cage in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a mind fuck. It's like being John Malkovich when he was John Malkovich in the movie.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like every crazy actor has to do something of that nature to kind of justify their place in the universe, you know? But hey,
it's true.
This is our second to last episode before we go on our big trip a week from tomorrow. Adam and I will be departing the fine state of Massachusetts and heading to our neighbors to the west, the fine state of NY. And it's going to be an adventure. I can tell you, we're going to the David Ortiz Hall of Fame.
I gotta tell you,
Actually,
I just gotta get this off my chest. I am not looking forward to going home tomorrow after work because I gotta drink the prune. Like I've only gone to the bathroom once this entire.
Oh my god, really? That's terrible.
Yeah, and the prune works. We all know the prune juice works. It's but you got to be careful with that. I remember the first time that ever happened to me, and I drank a whole bottle of it. And, it's funny for like an hour and a half. You sit there kind of like farting, and you're like, "Oh, this is kind of funny," and then it doesn't stop, and then things get bad. So
have you been
drink like a glass of that?
Have you been eating something out of the ordinary? Is your diet off a little bit from what you typically eat?
Maybe. I mean, I always eat a lot of chicken. I've eaten a lot of chicken.
Yeah.
I'm eating those fucking crackers in the office. It's probably what.
That's probably not helping you. Yeah, the peanut butter will bind you up real quick. Yeah.
It's very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
Is the office? Are they trying to get us fat? Because those aren't very healthy selections of snacks. I mean, I appreciate the snack variety, which is nice. I just don't appreciate the fact that we're just sitting on our ass for 8 hours and just eating and not getting much physical activity. You know what I mean? What do you think the reaction would be?
That's why I got to go for a walk at noon. Man.
Right. What do you think the reaction would be if I brought in a treadmill and I just I walked a 5K during the day?
Just walked in the office.
I worked at a company. He might actually be watching the show. The guy had we all had these desks in my last place that were adjustable, so you could sit at them, but you could also raise them like a foot and a half, and you could be standing desks. They're like on this little motor, which are really cool. But one of the guys had a treadmill, like one of those office treadmills, where he walked all day while he was drafting. It's fucking crazy. He would do like a 5K in a day, just walking. I mean, you might as well, right? But I don't know.
Yeah, right.
But
that's some multitasking right there. What if you like miss a step? Or what if you get angry and like accidentally just like miss a step and trip?
Right. Cause some damage. How do you feel about me sleeping in the nude while we're sharing a hotel room next weekend?
That's not gonna happen.
Well, I don't guarantee it's not gonna happen. And you may not want it to.
Well, you can. You just you can make sure.
You may not want it to happen.
It can happen if I don't know about it.
Chances are you and I are sharing a bed. So, I mean.
No one knows. Are we?
There's only two. There's two king. There's two king beds. Are you going to share a bed with Eric's girlfriend? No.
I thought we'd all jump in one bed together. I mean, we all sleep in the same bed together.
We could do that. That'd be a good picture.
Well, there's gonna be a pullout. You said there'd be a pullout or something like a
right. There's gonna be a bed and a pullout. There's 2 beds. I mean,
well, the thing is that's their problem, because the first night, like, what am I not going to sleep in the empty bed? So that means the second night, I mean, my shit's already there. I'm claiming my territory.
We're gonna be in a completely different hotel room too.
It's true.
So I mean, it's gonna be It's gonna be an interesting situation regardless. We could always get a roll away. I think that might be the option, get a roll away. So
yeah, you can ask the front desk. I'm sure those.
Yeah, they could help us out here, so we're not so intimate. If nothing beats the time
we also when this happened, we didn't expect that. I don't think we expected that there'd be another party. It's
not a big deal but it's picking up. Is your mic on your head on? Because it sounds like very echoey. But maybe it perhaps maybe is
echoey.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's just the sound. Maybe it's just the vibrations of sound inside your studio. It's making things a little echoey. But it could be me. Could be my could have a little. Could have a little echo on my mic myself. So that would be the situation. Yes, I'll be wearing the bathrobes that the hotel would provide us, and there'd be a lot of alcohol consumption that weekend. And that's the. I got to figure. I got to go hard on Friday night and Saturday because Sunday I got to stay sober because I got to drive us all the way back home. So you guys can do what you like, but Sunday I'll be taking it quite easy. Since
I don't drink much Sundays anyway, so
yeah. And I only figure maybe whatever I have left over for alcohol. That's the thing too. Whatever you want to drink, you probably should grab like a 6-pack or something so we can throw it in the cooler. I'll be grabbing some of my beers and I'll have the Yeti that we can throw.
I will be while you're driving. I'm gonna have like a Tropicana bottle.
Oh yeah, that's fine. It's I'm talking about like when we get to the hotel, especially if we roll in. It's like the Packies. I think you can buy beer at a gas station in New York, but just in case we don't encounter one that has a variety of something, you know what I mean. But we're ready to roll. So tonight we're gonna try something different here. We're gonna try interacting. We already tried interacting on Facebook. We have a poll up right now as we start the show, and it says, "Who's hotter, Adam Mallet or DJ Arty 84?" And so far, Adam Mallet.
Why would you do that?
Because Adam's winning right now.
Why would you do that, man?
Well, because we're gonna see if people.
I don't want to know that kind of stuff.
You're winning, so congratulations.
Well, votes what to what? Like there was like 3-2.
I don't know how many people have voted. It just says I have 0% and you 100%. So you should feel good about yourself.
It could be like 1-0.
Could be
like 1-0.
Could be a dude for all you know. I mean, not there's anything wrong with that, but maybe
I know, right?
Secret admirer. Who knows? Maybe you have a fella that finds you quite riveting. You know what I mean? And maybe they have you confused with Nicolas Cage behind you. They don't know which one's Adam, which one's Nicolas Cage. So that could be a possibility too. But tonight we're going to be trying something where we're going to be sharing some video with you guys. And we have, we want to go over it because we're really, really relevant with history and up-to-date media. We're going to go over a very hit movie that happened, 22 years ago. And we're going to watch a little bit of it tonight. We're going to go over some scenes and crap. You know what? Well, I need to get I need a text message here.
You're using the term hit movie very lightly.
Hold on. I gotta make a phone call to a front desk person real quick. I need some help. Because, I forgot to bring. I was distracted. Hello? Can you do me a favor? I have paper inside my my lunch bag. Could you grab those pieces of paper for me if you're not busy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's aka Susie J, my front desk person. I have broken it down a synopsis of what we were going to go over, and out of the craziness that goes on in the house with kids, I have left it in the dining room, which is a bit of a way, and I don't want to interrupt the show any bit and make sure everything's going on, but
so the movie in question, I have seen it. You have not, so I'm going to tell you what is happening.
Well, I have seen a little bit. I've seen enough of the movie to basically, oh, here comes my assistant right here, Mr. Henry. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I got the paper. Thank you. How you do? All right. And he's taking my iPad and going off of it. Okay, that's all right. All right. So the movie at question is called DuetS. It was a 2000 movie that came out. It's an American. This is how it's sold on Wikipedia. It's an American road trip film co-produced and directed by Bruce Paltrow and written by John Brum. So Bruce Paltrow, is that Gwyneth's dad or brother?
I know. Bruce Paltrow is. I have this right in front of me. Well, the first. It is. Yep, that is her father.
Okay, which makes sense why she's in the movie, because this was like one of her breakout movies. Like this was like one of her first.
This is not a breakout movie.
Okay, I correct myself.
This is not. This is like
not a breakout movie, but one of her earlier movies, I should say, right? Okay.
We'll call this a blip on the radar.
Okay.
It's a 2000. Yeah.
But it has like people in it who aren't necessarily big stars, but at the time they were pretty relevant. Like for example, Maria Bello, who was in Coyote. She was the hot boss bartender who ended up being a lesbian. Coincidentally enough, how attractive she was, but that's the way she rolls, I guess.
A lot of these people are people when you watch a movie, you're like, oh, I know who that is, but you don't know their name.
Right. And you get Huey Lewis, obviously, from the news. He was there. And then you have Paul Giamatti, who's obviously pretty relevant in movies. But he's
in a lot of bit parts, yeah.
Yeah, and in 2000, he was still pretty low-key because, I mean, the other movie I think of before this one that he was in was Private Parts of Howard Stern, to be honest with you.
You also have, Scott Speedman and Maya Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph's in there, yeah. Scott Speedman, yes, he's in there. So, all right, so it's not a bunch of losers. It's people who have a decent resume who are in this thing, but this is kind of if you ask these people now to do this movie, they probably wouldn't do it.
No, definitely.
So, But the story reveals around an unrelated pairs of people who spend time in karaoke bars across America and week leading up to a big contest in Omaha, Nebraska. So you were close. You said Chicago, but it was Omaha. Nebraska. Okay, so
I remember you talked about this movie and I was like, okay, I'll watch it.
So this is yeah. So the movie cost $21 million to make. Okay. Guess how much it grossed in the box office?
Wasn't it like it's under 7? I want to say like 6.
Yeah, 6.6. So it took a $15 million loss.
Well,
like, are you kidding me? So now we have to go back into the time machine, right? We're gonna go go back into a time machine where we go back to say 2000, where karaoke was a big thing, right? Because karaoke was kind of, when we were like turning 21 and stuff, karaoke was kind of a thing, right? I remember like every bar had karaoke and stuff, and but it wasn't like it was in Japan, or
it wasn't,
but it was. I mean, it was.
No, karaoke's been around forever.
I know.
I remember in the 90s.
Right, but it seemed like it. That's the problem. It was like. It was something that was around forever, but never really. The technology was better by the time 2000 came around, with the way they projected everything was like all on like CDs and stuff, and the screens and it wasn't like it was old school.
Yeah,
where you just got up and sang. You didn't have like the monitors, but this is like the time like where like karaoke bars were like every bar had karaoke at this time. Every single bar on one night had a karaoke night, and so. You know how movies are. They tend to make movies on things that are trending at the time, right? They're very period pieces, if you will. I use that word very lightly for this movie, a period piece. But I mean, it was a period piece because karaoke was popular at this time, and people were like, oh, so like, all right, so who can we get? All right, I'm the director. Let me get my daughter who can sing. Boom, easy enough. All right, let's get a singer who, was big in the 80s. Is not quite big anymore. Who has a good voice, and I don't know if he can act or not, but let's try it out. Let's get Huey Lewis to do it. And then let's get a bunch of other B actors who are just kind of making their way through the system right now. So, all right, we're going to watch a bit of this. I have this broken up into pieces, and we should be able to.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Can I just say something?
Absolutely.
I just want to say, like, it is. Let me try to explain to everybody how uncomfortable it is at times to watch this movie. Like, you know how like it makes sense like in a movie about poker where there's a guy who's like hustling people playing poker. That's cool. Or
Right.
like a pool shark who's like, you know, hustling people. It is not cool for somebody who like is like trying to hustle by karaoke to win a contest. Like, I bet I could beat that guy. It is just not cool. And then there's like a scene to explain how karaoke works. Where
Right.
like that Paul Juliet, what was his name? Just like he's like he can't figure out. He keeps skipping the words, and he's like, "It's okay, dear. We'll restart the song." It is just so uncomfortable. It is. It's so bad.
Well, so this is the critical response right here. The film received 21% on Rotten Tomatoes, according to 92 critics. Right?
21.
Yeah,
that's high.
Being very generous. Robert Eager gave it 2 thumbs down. And this is what he wrote. He wrote on his newspaper review, "DuetS has little islands of humor and effort perfection, floating in a sea of missed marks and murky intentions." I mean, this movie.
I don't need to watch two guys stare longly into each other's eyes singing together. And if they're going to, I don't need to hear the entire song.
Right.
Okay. That's the problem.
Well, it's funny that you said that, because the soundtrack to this movie was actually a decent selling soundtrack. And back in 2000, soundtracks were a big deal. When you bought a movie, they usually pumped it up with tons of music to try to make some money in the aftermarket. I don't have a price on how much the soundtrack made, but every single person who was in the movie basically sang, and they put it on the soundtrack. So, like, for example, like the big hit was "Cruisin'," a Smokey Robinson song, like Gwyneth Paltrow and Huey Lewis sang, which you hear that still at the mall. You walk through a mall these days, you can still hear it. It plays in the background, "Baby, let's cruise away." And it's going to get really uncomfortable once we tell you the relationship between these two people in the movie. But if you haven't seen the movie, stay tuned. We're going to play the scene first, and then we'll do it. But if you have not seen the first thing we're going to see is the trailer. We're going to evaluate the trailer here. Let's get this going over here.
But I'm not, without spoiling anything, I will say that is just the tip of the iceberg. That relationship you're speaking of is just the tip of the iceberg with all the garbage that goes on in this movie.
Right. Exactly. So, yeah, that's nothing compared to exactly what can go. Let's see. We'll make sure you should be able to get the sound too. Let me know if you can't hear it. And let me
Jesus Christ,
over here.
I'm glad I was high when I watched this.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Are you ready to
you hear it?
rock the house?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened there. All right, let's try this again.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah,
Not that.
I'm not sure what the fuck happened there. Hold on.
I don't know, Arty. This could get blocked for copyright because of the music. I don't know.
It could.
That'd be hilarious.
How do I get this off over here? Let's see. I literally accidentally hit a button and all hell broke loose over here. Okay, let's try this again. And the volume was super. Was it loud for you on your end?
Oh, it's about average.
All right.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
I feel like I'm torturing you, making you do this. All right, let's do this.
I mean, I watch a lot of garbage, but
Right.
And this is not. It's up there, but I've seen a hell of a lot worse. But it was bad.
Yeah. So this is the best part of the movie right here. The rating.
You still gotta watch the whole thing. At least I know what I'm getting for Christmas.
Yeah. So, and you tell me to pause it if you need me to pause it. But like literally, like this guy's a comic. Karaoke.
It's a rush like you wouldn't believe. It's like jumping out of an
Rush.
airplane.
Like you would believe. It's like jumping out of an airplane.
Rush.
It may seem a little foolish.
Isn't it kind of coincidental that American Idol came out like 2 years after this? Like,
Is this stuttering a little bit on your end? This trailer?
a little bit.
Okay.
Like this guy's not known to be a singer.
Six complete strangers.
I literally think it was Gwyneth Paltrow's father decided he just wanted to make a movie, put his daughter in.
Well, I mean, there's deeper meaning to all this, Arty. These are all flawed people all coming
Right.
together and trying to find their way. It's not about karaoke.
Right.
It's about
About love.
This is fucking stupid.
To a bonding. Do you know her? Well, of course I know him.
Yeah.
He's your father.
That's your father. How do you not know you have a daughter?
He's like, whoa, it's so zany. Oh my God. And then she's like, aren't we going? She's like an idiot.
And I love how in the previews they make the words go up like they do for like when you sing karaoke, how it lights it up.
Okay, pause it for a sec. So this fucking backstory.
Okay, yeah,
Right.
These two guys.
No, we'll get to them in a minute. The girl and Scott Speedman. So that girl
These two,
is like, she's like, he feels like he's a loser because he's driving a cab. And then this girl who's like kind of a whore is like, oh, I'm going to sing karaoke. And then like she like basically blows a bunch of guys like to pay for the way to get to the karaoke thing and has Scott Speedman driver there.
Yeah. That's
like their whole storyline. It's her he's just messing around with dudes to get to this karaoke tour.
So how does Maria Bello come into play? Where's her character at?
Who's that?
Like, she's the one.
You gotta remember, I was pretty high.
She's like the one from Coyote. Was in Coyote Ugly. She was the boss in Coyote Ugly.
Yeah, she's that's not the girl he goes with. I don't know who this bitch is.
Oh, okay. It was the other girl. Okay, because I was watching a scene in this movie. Because I haven't watched the full movie fully, but I've watched like 90 scenes of this movie. And I took like the 5 best for today's show put together. But
okay. I'll wait till we get to these scenes then.
Okay, yeah. So I just wanted to give everyone a little taste in case they haven't been doing anything for the last 22 years and missed this great movie that came out. But like these two, I heard is an interesting story.
You don't know how to drive? No, I don't know how to drive.
We'll get to that.
Look at this dialogue.
We'll let this ride. Oh, the dialogue's horrible.
That's Star, right? That's one of those blowing guys to get to the.
To grab a mic.
Like your daughter.
It's like a weird.
Academy Award winner Gwyneth Paltrow.
But she didn't win an Academy Award for this movie.
No. She should have won a Razzie.
Yeah, I would give her a Razzie for this movie. Like, look at all the soundtracks against. Oh, okay. Stop it right there. Hold on. Oh, yeah, stop it. So if you go back, it says, I don't know if I can fast forward. It said something Rudolph was a producer. If the show's at the end. So I think Maya Rudolph's father had something to do with this as well. While he was the. All right, let's see. I'll see if I can pause it when we go back.
I guess I get trying to capitalize on like some sort of trend,
right?
Karaoke at time. I get it, but the execution is just horrible.
All right, right there. Sad. So music supervisor Richard Rudolph and Maya Rudolph. So I'm assuming this is like a movie that like say me and you had a bunch of kids who were trying to get into the
David
business.
Newman.
Yeah,
they got David Newman. Wow,
look at these names. Like
yeah.
So this was either like a joke where like these guys were sitting around saying, "Hey, is this something funny we could do?" Or they were dead serious thinking this movie was going to make money because it was such a trendy thing at the time and it ended up just sucking. Okay. You know what I mean? But like, but Maya Rudolph wasn't really relevant. She wasn't even on Saturday Night Live at this point, I don't think. In 2000?
I don't know.
If she was very early in her tenure there. But I mean, yeah. I mean, look at these people here. I mean, you got fucking a bunch of goofballs. All right, let's get into the juice of this movie, okay? Let's get into the stuff that really counts. And I have these all in order, so we could do it that way. Let's see. A new share. I don't know why it does it on this screen. I'd rather do it on this screen.
Actually, from 2000 to 2007. Yeah. So
just on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's start with the opening scene, shall we?
Oh, Jesus. We're not watching the whole fucking opening scene.
It's 2 minutes.
Yes, this
2 minutes of the scene. This is where the movie pauses real quick. So basically, what he's trying to do is Huey Lewis is a shark, right? So in
karaoke shark.
So this is where we break things down to the reality of stuff. Sometimes people hang out in pool halls, right? And they're like pool sharks, right? And basically what they do is they try to, hey, I'm really suck at this. Oh, let's do this in poker games. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, let's play. And then they go and then they win and they hustle the people. So so Huey Lewis is a karaoke hustler.
Yes.
Right.
I would also like to note the frosted tips on this guy that was very popular back in the early 2000s. To look like a mini wheat was the thing.
I had frosted tips in 2000.
Oh God! So you look like a mini wheat.
I had frosted tips till 2008.
Oof.
Oh yeah, I would like it. And what they do is they put the shower cap on your head and then they poke the holes through it and pull your hair up. And then they bleach that's how they got the tips just right. And I used to do it myself. I used to do it in the back. I used to do it in the back of the finish line. I would go down to CVS. I'd buy like woman's blonde hair dye. And I would just frost my tips and keep it in my hair for like 3 hours and then wash it out. And I would have these nice, a couple of times it went orange. Like I had red tips.
I shouldn't make fun though, because I did dye my hair hot pink once. So
we going into the golf mode? Were you deciding you're gonna like
the punk? No, that was my punk rebel phase.
Rock.
It was punk. I also had a bullhorn piercing right here too.
No fucking way. Did you really? Yeah,
I did it myself too, actually. Yeah.
Do you have any pictures of this that you could share with us?
All burned and destroyed. No, but there's still one left. I could find it.
At what age did you have this bull?
Oh, I was like 16.
Jesus. What'd your mother think?
I think she just chopped it off. Chopped it up to it's just a phase. It'll go away.
Yeah.
And it did.
What'd your father think? Did he say, what the fuck's wrong with you?
I don't know. It's a good question.
I know if I came home with a fucking piercing, my father would hit me on the side of the head and be like, what's wrong with you?
Well, I did it to impress a girl. Because it was a girl. And it kind of worked, I guess.
We all did stupid things to impress.
I gave myself right through the center of the nose. I gave myself a piercing.
Yeah. I remember there was this neighborhood broad that I was trying to get with back like when I was 15 or 16. So I started listening to like we call it Power Man 5000 and like those like Slipknot type
Static X.
Yeah. I'm not I don't hate it. I'm just not a fan of it. Like I appreciate the music ability of it, but it wasn't my thing. But I was really trying to get myself to like this. And I'm like, yeah, did you hear the new Slipknot song? I'm like really digging it. I'm like, I just don't like this. And she wasn't even that good looking to even be worth doing it, but she was a convenient girl in the neighborhood. So what are you gonna do? My neighborhood, not many girls. So when you had a ratio of about 30-1, you had to do what you had to do to gain some ground. But no, we have diverted. Let's finish watching the opening scene. All right, so that's why it's rated. Okay, all right, so that's how the movie starts. So I can say about 7 or 8 things in this opening scene that will never ever happen. That, like I said,
well, we've said about it. I think we've hit all of them.
Well, this is being the last one. Never in the history of anyone ever singing karaoke in a bar did it ever relate to you getting laid. You know what I mean?
No, definitely not. I mean, if you could pull it off, like I said, good for you.
But... And what did she say to the guys she was with? Like how that exit and interview go? Like unless she was a hooker.
Unless he paid for her, right? Yeah. So there it is.
You tell me. Did he in the next scene? Did he pay for her, or was it just?
I don't think that's ever really disclosed.
Okay. All right. So that's how we meet Huey Lewis in that movie. All right. So let's see what else. What other goodness we have in this this fine movie that we're 22 years late to the show. I guess this would have been. People probably would have hated us 22 years ago if we did this movie.
I do have a worse movie you could watch, by the way. I will lend you the DVD, actually.
Maybe we do that. Maybe we do that another episode. Here,
because I own it. So it's so bad. I actually own it because it's that bad. It's funny. I will let you borrow the DVD. You have a Blu-ray player, a DVD player. Can you watch it on something?
Yeah, I got a DVD player. I can watch it on something. Yeah.
All right. I will give it to you, and I'll talk about it to you tomorrow. All right.
Okay.
I've let people borrow it, and they've questioned our friendship afterwards.
It's not one of the movies you were in, is it?
No, it's not. No,
because I'd love to do this I love to do what we're doing right now with the 2 movies that you and I were in back in our heyday of acting.
There is a movie a mockumentary poking fun with James Franco. Making fun of this movie.
Okay,
it came out a couple years ago, but we can talk about that some other time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. All right. So this is another scene in the movie. I think this is where we get to introduce ourselves to some of the characters in the movie here. Friend, maybe a guy you met, you have a relationship, obviously, if I'm right. You had spent a couple days with him or a week or whatever. I don't think I would be laughing.
No.
I would be horrified at this point.
No. Yeah.
What's he gonna say?
Like, where are the police?
Right.
Why is there no sound? Why aren't people screaming?
That's a good question. Why isn't anyone screaming? And why aren't people shooting Paul Giamatti? Because he could be as dangerous as he is.
Yeah, the police would be like, "You have to put your hands up." Like,
right. It's very awkward. And he's just died.
You gotta get that monologue.
Not dead yet.
There you go.
Oh my God, the Aaron. I just noticed this.
Yep, that's pretty.
Oh, God.
That's
Oh,
midlife crisis right there. That's what
but he's 30.
that is. Shut up.
I'm not getting errands. I'm almost 40. Is that it?
Is that it? That's probably it.
That's it.
Yeah. And then after, well, I'll just tell you right afterwards, it's like they all meet outside. And like, oh, well, we'll go in here to this other tournament. Oh, too bad he pulled that gun. He won too. He sounded so good. I can't believe he did that. All right, well, let's go.
Stupid is that movie? I mean, and here's the problem. I knew that movie came out, God, 22 years ago. And I don't know what made me think about this movie. I don't know what I came across. I don't know how I found this movie 2 weeks ago when I told you about the movie.
Well, I have something for you that I'm going to give you tomorrow that you got to watch this weekend. You got to promise, because I watched DuetS. I fucking sat through that whole fucking movie. So what I'm going to give you, my friend, you have to watch it.
Good. It makes good it makes good conversation. So we can rip it
it's going to be something.
I like that idea. I like this kind of idea of breaking shit down on the show because I think it makes it very it's a constructive episode. Right? So in a nutshell, if you haven't seen DuetS, you've probably seen everything you needed here in this episode. So you probably don't have to go and actually search it out. But if you really insist on seeing it, you could do what I did, watch 75% of the movie just on clips on YouTube and figure out the movie pretty much by that. Or you could sit there and waste an hour and a half of your life watching a movie and see all the stuff that doesn't really happen in real life happen in that movie. So I feel bad for Hooli. Yeah, Hooli. Who's Hooli? Hooli?
Hooli?
I think the news was pissed off they weren't in the movie. Maybe they were. Maybe they were extras or something like that. We just didn't know.
Those damn kids, they were just too damn loud.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Back to the Future, remember?
Yeah. When Huey Lewis finally dies, he'll be remembered for many things, but one thing he will not be remembered for is his role in DuetS. People will just forget about that ever happened. And I'm sure he probably likes it that way. And I love Huey. I think he's great. I love the news. I love them all. But I do not love this movie at all. This will not be one of my top 5 favorite movies.
No.
But with that said, that concludes this episode of us analyzing DuetS. Hey, 27% Rotten Tomatoes movie from 2000. Adam, you have anything you're sharing with?
No, but I might actually at some point put that on my channel at some point. It's not bad. But,
bad movie reviews.
Yeah.
And if of course you get me on where'sarty.com, audio for Y, and the Wicked Explorers as where you can find this show and other fine episodes of the Arty 84 show of Adam Mallett. Next week we'll be on again, and then we'll have some news for you the week after that. When we go
we got to talk about what I'm giving you. Well, I'll give it to you tomorrow because you have to watch it.
Have some homework.
You will have homework.
All right. With that said, we'll see you guys later, and toodaloo, motherfuckers. Bye.